Hare Krishna, Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We continue reading from Caitanya Caritamrita Adi Lila, chapter 8, text 19. Rajan Patir Gurur Alam Bhavatam Yadunam Devam Priya Kulapatihi Kvacha Kinkaro Vaha Astva Evam Anga Bhagavan Bhajatam Mukundo Muktim Dadati Karhichit Smana Bhakti Yogam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The great sage Sukadev said, "My dear Maharaj Parikshit, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is always ready to help you. He is your master, guru, God, and very dear friend, and also the head of your family. Yet sometimes he agrees to act as your servant or order carrier. You are greatly fortunate because this relationship is possible only by Bhakti Yoga. The Lord can give liberation, mukti, very easily, but He does not very easily give one Bhakti Yoga because by that process, He is bound to the devotee." So, yesterday we heard that Krishna very easily fulfills our material desires. Whatever material desires we have, we should approach Krishna. He will fulfill all the desires, and He fulfills in such a way that we will desire to go back home, back to Godhead. If we approach the demigods with the material desires, so they also have to get the permission from Krishna to give us the benediction to fulfill our desires. The demigods, they have to get the permission from Krishna, and when he agrees, they give us. But the thing is that they cannot get us out of the material world. We still remain in the material world. So Krishna can fulfill all our material desires. Krishna also gives us liberation easily if we ask him. If we pray to Krishna, "My dear Krishna, please give me liberation," he will give it easily. But pure devotional service, bhakti yoga, he does not give very easily. Very rarely Krishna gives bhakti yoga to someone. Why? Because, as we said, he becomes the servant of that devotee. He becomes bound by the devotee. The devotee is binding him with what? With his love. It's a relationship based on love. It's not that he's binding him with iron chains and making him whip and saying, "Oh, you have to work for me." No, it's a relationship based on love. So Krishna does not very easily give bhakti yoga. So here, as Sukadev Goswami is saying, that Krishna, he's the head of your family. He acts as your servant or order carrier, because servant, how? He became the chariot driver of Arjuna, no? So he becomes the servant, and then order carrier. Yudhishthir Maharaj told Krishna, "You please go and tell Duryodhan, let's not fight." So he became a messenger. Krishna is God, but he's doing these things for the Pandavas. Why? Because the Pandavas love him so much. So Krishna reciprocates. Krishna is not, it's not a one-sided relationship. No, Krishna is always reciprocating. This passage is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 6, Text 18. While Sukadev Goswami was describing the character of Rishabdev, he distinguished between bhakti yoga and liberation by reciting this verse. So bhakti yoga starts from the liberated platform, understanding that I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. That is liberation. I'm a spirit soul. But what is bhakti yoga? Understanding I am not this body, I'm eternal servant of Krishna and engaging in the service of Krishna. Just by understanding I'm spirit soul is very good, of course, but it's still incomplete. The knowledge is still incomplete because we still don't know what is our true identity. Each and every spirit soul, each and every Jivatma has a loving relationship with Krishna, a loving relationship. And that is Bhakti Yoga. That's the Sanatan Dharma of every Jivatma. In relationship with the Yadus and Pandavas, the Lord acted sometimes as their master, sometimes as their advisor, sometimes as their friend, sometimes as the head of their family, and sometimes even as their servant. So Krishna was very highly involved in the life of the Pandavas. He was always with them. Whenever they had difficulty, he would always, protect them, give them guidance, give them counsel, and even do the things for them. Krishna once had to carry out an order of Yudhishthir's by carrying a letter Yudhishthir had written to Duryodhana regarding peace negotiations. Similarly, he also became the chariot driver of Arjuna. This illustrates that in Bhakti Yoga, there is a relationship established between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the devotee. So we see the picture, Bhagavad Gita, we see Arjuna is there, we see the chariot is there, and we see Krishna is there. And what is Krishna doing? He's the chariot driver of Arjuna's chariot. So this is a loving relationship between God and his devotee. There was Brahmana in South India when Lord Caitanya was visiting a temple in South India. He saw a Brahmana who was reading Bhagavad Gita. He didn't even know how to hold the book properly or read it properly, but there were tears coming from his eyes. He was trying to read. His recitation was not very perfect, but he was trying to read and he was crying. So Lord Chaitanya approached him and asked him, "My dear Brahmana, why are you crying?" So this Brahmana, what happened was many times the others would ridicule him. So he wouldn't speak much to them. People would criticize him, make fun of him. You don't know what you're talking. You don't even know how to open a book. You don't know how to hold a book. You are illiterate. This Brahmana was illiterate. And the other people would always make fun of him. But this Brahmana could understand that Lord Chaitanya is not here to make fun of him. He could understand that Lord Chaitanya is special. So he told him, my dear Lord Chaitanya, I'm illiterate. I don't know how to read. But my Guru has given me the order that I must recite Bhagavad Gita every day. So just to fulfill this order of my Guru, I try to recite. The Lord Chaitanya said, all right, that's okay. And the Brahmana said, I don't even know how to read. I'm illiterate. I'm not able to recite it properly, but I just try to. So Lord Chaitanya said, that's very good, wonderful that you're trying to follow the order of your spiritual master. But why are there tears in your eyes? What is it? So the Brahmana said, it's because I can see here. I can see the picture. I can see in front of me when I'm trying to read Bhagavad Gita. I can see in front of me that Krishna, he is so kind. He's God himself. And yet he's become the chariot driver of his devotee. He's become a servant of his devotee. And so just looking at the love of Krishna, my heart is overflowing to see this sweet, loving relationship between Krishna and Arjuna. My heart is feeling overwhelmed and tears are coming out of my eyes. Lord Chaitanya said, you have perfectly understood the Bhagavad Gita. And Lord Chaitanya named him the Acharya for Bhagavad Gita. because he could understand that there's this loving relationship between Krishna and the devotee. So this is such a relationship is established in the transcendental mellows known as Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. So Krishna has relationships with his devotees in 5 primary rasas. One is Shantaras. Shant is not mentioned here, but Shantaras is the neutrality. Neutrality, like relationship as of a flower with Krishna, or a bird, a tree, his flute, or the cows, the peacocks. So we may say, oh, all this happened 5,000 years ago. Why am I listening to history? What does it matter to me right now? But we have to understand that Krishna is eternal. It's not that he existed only 5,000 years ago. He's still existing in the Goloka Vrindavan, and he's calling us there and telling us, come to me and enjoy in this pastime with me. You can enter my pastime and have a relationship with me in this, any of these 5 rasas. So Dasya is the rasa of servitude, servant. Then is Sakhya. Sakhya is as a friend. Krishna has many friends. The cowherd boys, Madhumangal, Sridham, Subal, Krishna Stoka. So many boys are there. Then there's Vatsalya, parents of Krishna. Parents of Krishna, Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai. So we can have a relationship. Of course, we cannot become Nanda Maharaj, or we cannot become Yashoda Mai. We can't become someone, but the mood, the parental mood we can have as a parent, like friends of Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, they have this mood of parental affection with Krishna, and Madhurya, conjugal ras, as the gopis have with Krishna. So why are we given this information? Because we have an eternal relationship with Krishna in either of the 5 ras. We simply have to discover it. That is the science of self-discovery, self-realization. What is my relationship with Krishna? If a devotee wants simple liberation, he gets it very easily from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as confirmed by Bilva Mangal Thakur. Mukti Swayam Mukulitanjali Sevate Sman. For a devotee, mukti is not very important, because mukti is always standing on his doorstep waiting to serve him in some way. Bilva Mangal Thakur is one of the great devotees of Krishna. He says, yes, a pure devotee, he's not concerned with mukti. He's more concerned to engage in this ras with Krishna. Because all this happens on the liberated platform. It's not, nothing is material. It's not related to the body. It's the relationship between the Jivatma and Krishna. So it's all on the spiritual platform. So it's beyond bhakti. It's beyond mukti. Beyond. Bhakti is beyond mukti. A devotee, therefore, must be attracted by the behavior of the inhabitants of Vrindavan, who live in a relationship with Krishna. So the Brajbasis. It's not that the Brajbasis were there only 5,000 years ago and, oh, I'm not concerned with it. How is it going to help me? No, these leelas are eternally happening. Eternal. We are all eternal souls. We have eternal activity, and bhakti is our eternal activity. And the leelas are happening not only in the spiritual world, but even in the material world. Krishna is appeared, his activities are eternal. So he's all, for example, now, 5,000 years ago, he was in this earth planet. Right now, he's in some other planet of some other universe having his leelas. His leelas are eternally going on, never stop. because they are on the spiritual platform. The land, water, cows, trees, and flowers serve Krishna in Shantaras. The servants serve him in Dasyaras, and his cowherd friends serve him in Sakyaras. Similarly, the elder gopis and gopas serve Krishna as father and mother, uncle, and other relatives. And the young gopis, the cowherd girls, serve Krishna in conjugal love. So these are the 5 primary rasas that every soul can have with Krishna. We have, each of us has an eternal relationship with Krishna. We may deny it, we may not believe in it, we may not want it, but this is the truth, that each of us have an eternal relationship with Krishna. And that is our true, real, constitutional position. And that's what we should endeavor to be again situated in that position. So we don't need to keep loitering around here in the material world. We just need to revive our relationship with Krishna, our love for Krishna. And that can be easily gotten. It's easily given to us by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya in this Kali Yuga by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Something which is so difficult, Lord Chaitanya is making it so easy for us. He said, simply you chant the Hare Krishna mantra and you can revive your love for Krishna. So we continue to hear and chant, and we encourage others to hear and chant. So everyone can be reunited with Krishna. Everyone can be situated in their original position. And it is the desire of Lord Chaitanya, Yare dekha tare kaha Krishna Upadesh. Wherever you go, whoever you meet, tell them about Krishna. Make them fortunate. So we can endeavor to do that. And if we are not able to give it to others, at least we, for ourselves, continue to hear and chant. So we'll stop here for today. Are there any questions or comments?
No, all good.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening and enjoying it. Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.